right, here we go. Next edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D, but actually it's on the road.
In
so-
Leopard Land,
Yeah, so it's the road show version, I guess.
my hometown,
Yeah,
my
since
alma
I've been
mater.
called Grandpa earlier today, we'll call it the road show. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah. So
if it fits.
if you've got anything of value you want to pass down and let me value it up, PBS, I can do that too. So anyway, well, we're very excited to be here in Malvern. We've come over here a couple times.
I love
this
Malvern.
semester. Yeah, yeah,
It's my alma
exactly.
mater.
Yeah, and I started to say there's only one thing that I'm not real cool with about Malvern is the fact that you lived here or went to school here. So, but they did kick you out of the district.
Whatever.
So,
Whatever.
so once again, I'm in love with Malvern.
Yeah.
Hey, get this.
He interned here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I student taught here
That's
as
right.
well.
I
Grandpa
remember that
did.
story.
Grandpa did a long time ago.
Yeah. So anyway, well, hey, if you say a long time ago,
No.
that's speaking your truth too,
But
because
yeah.
we student taught. But enough about us.
Okay.
Enough about us.
Oh, goodness.
So you want to introduce our guest?
Yes.
Since
of
you
course.
taught her, you
I did
old
not
bag of
teach.
bones.
I did not
You
teach
taught
her.
when she was in
Well,
school.
okay, so yeah, when I graduated from Henderson, I started teaching back at my hometown with all my old teachers, and I think I started in August of '96, and then we were talking about this. You graduated.
Okay, so that was my senior year.
Yes, but I think that you have Miss Wiley,
Yes.
who I love.
Yes.
Thank God.
It's Lyshonda Dupree, and we are very excited to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, another Malvern alum, and she's still hanging out and making a difference over here at Malvern.
I'm
so I
trying.
love it. I
So
love
you're-
it.
Third grade teacher.
Third grade.
Yeah.
Third
How-
grade math, science.
Is this the only one and only teaching stop
This
for you?
is the one and only.
Okay. How long you been back?
This is my 11th year.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
So was that the goal all along to come back home and teach?
Yes, it
Make a
was.
difference back
It
home?
was. I actually went out on a limb and just decided I was going to try to get a job here, and I just prayed that something would work out for me, and it did. So
Well, good.
That's so
I was
awesome.
excited about that.
So let's just kind of go back, if you will, kind of tell us your story. So how you got into education. Is education in the family? Are you the first? How'd that go?
My grandmother taught for a brief period of time, but no, it was more of some of my teachers that I had.
Excluding Miss Bennett. Yeah.
My fourth grade teacher, Shauna Wiley, I was pretty close with her. And then, of course, when I got had a really good math teacher, which we'll talk to her granddaughter later, but Jane Blackerby. And I've always loved math. She was a really good math teacher. And then once I hit high school, my English teacher, who's still currently teaching, Kathy Clayton, she was more like a mom to me, and we're pretty close friends now. So just had a lot of influences. I always loved working with kids, so it was kind of like it was a no-brainer. In a sense, I worked at the Boys and Girls Club when I first started going to school here in town, and before I transferred and actually got into the education field. But it's just second nature, I think, to me. So
I'm telling you right now, if you can survive the Boys and Girls Club and still have that love and that passion for kids,
Yeah.
yes,
100%.
challenge.
That's a God thing.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
yeah, for sure. We talk about it a lot being a calling, and you
It definitely
yeah,
is.
it
It's
is.
it's not for the weak. I'll say that for sure. It's definitely got to be your thing.
but very rewarding.
Absolutely. Lots of stories.
What's your favorite thing? I guess about. I'm sure you have several, but
I don't know. I just I always have a few that I can relate to on different levels. Personally, their likes, things that they like. The ones that love sports, because I'm a big sports fanatic myself,
Right.
and so I'll even get out on the playground, and play football or kickball or whatever, and they're just always like amazed. I think because I'm a girl and I'm a little older, so they don't expect you to run as fast or throw a spiral or be able to shoot a basketball. They're just, it's amazing. So they're just like,
they're like, whoa,
you're like a hero. They're like, what?
my teacher
You
can do that?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And then jump rope, just all those different things. So that part's pretty fun. We can get out and laugh and everything. But in the classroom, just definitely, having those aha moments, I guess, for those that struggle or they don't have enough confidence. And so I'm just like, you can do this, and I have faith in them. And then when they do hit that, it's like, see in their face and excitement. So there's just a lot of different things daily that are rewarding. You know, every day is a
Right.
new day,
Yep.
and that is so true. I
Right.
heard that a lot, but you see it every day.
Yeah,
Right.
you've totally experienced that. Huh?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
I know. I still look back and go, "Good grief, we've been in education for 27 years. I can't even believe it."
Right.
It makes me feel old, even though I didn't teach her. I mean, still
Time
she was-
flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was super young when I started teaching there. I just turned 20.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
Me-
I have a coworker right now that's 22.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you say every day's a new day, but to me, that's what keeps me coming back. You know, honestly.
Yes, for sure.
Both careers have been in, same thing, they parallel, and that is that, every day is a new day, full of new challenges.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what drives Candy crazy. She won't
Mm-hmm.
tell you that. I mean, she's got a list. I guarantee you, the best Christmas gift you could ever give her would be like a crate of Post-it notes.
I
She
would
has
love that.
Yeah, it's just the
all
type
about the office
A.
supplies.
It's just the type A. It's just like, it's hard to get rid of that.
But I take great joy in watching her have to, just throw that in the trash, because in this world we live in, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't do any
Yeah.
good. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
this is
but
true.
but again, the challenge that I think that it presents, when you go home at the end of the day and take a deep breath, to me that's the rewarding part.
Yeah, it is. It
Because
definitely is.
you think about the kids, so unpredictable, and even when you're walking through the fire, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it to me, I think there's nothing more enjoyable, but nothing more important.
Right.
I mean,
Definitely.
if you slow down to think about it. So, you say coming back to Malvern, coming back home. Why was that so important to you?
I don't know. I feel like I can relate to the kids because, of course, I grew up here, and I mean, outside of a few years, this has been home, and knowing a lot of the people that live
Right.
here, you have easy access to. If there is an issue, I probably got some of their numbers in my phone.
Right, right,
I don't know. It just felt like it was where I needed to be.
right.
For a while I was just like, I'm ready to leave, and I don't know. As each semester passed, I'm like, no, I want to stay home.
Well,
And you always know, I think,
Yeah.
where
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I applaud you for that, because so many
Me
people
too.
want to sit on the sidelines and say, well, something's got to be done about that, or, it's not. They don't want to dive into the pool.
Right.
They want to be on the sidelines telling everybody else how to
course.
do it. But I always applaud folks that they see the need, but they roll up their sleeves and go home and want to be part of the answer.
Right.
It's part of maybe the issue. So,
Right.
but so I guess let's talk a little bit about married, right? You married a home guy or no?
Malvern
Did you?
guy?
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
married. I'm sorry. I was like, I heard the word, but I
Yeah.
didn't hear the word. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is he saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am married. Yeah, my husband, he lived in Malvern for
Right.
a brief period of
Yeah.
time, but he
Yeah.
graduated from Hot Springs. He does private care, which he loves doing. That's his
Right.
passion, just like teaching
Right.
is my passion.
Right. Well, and again, I think you have number one, two people that are passionate about what they do, but they also have the passion for people,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and that's important
For sure.
because and both of those you have to have that ability to encourage one another.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
with those lining up, I think it's easy to do. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, kids.
Yes, I have. I have 3, and then I have a daughter and 2 sons, and then a bonus daughter and 2
Yeah.
stepsons. So
Okay. Yeah.
very well blended family with a lot of love. And then I
Okay.
have 3 grandbabies.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got married and I became a Mimi,
That's awesome.
but I love it.
So age range.
Let's see.
She's like, let me think.
No, I seriously
yeah.
have to think about this. So the bonus daughter, she's like in her mid-30s, so not even really like.
Right. Yeah.
She's too old to really be my kid,
Right.
but she's
Right.
my kid.
Right.
And the neat thing is, her and my daughter share a birthday, so I
Oh,
thought that was
wow.
really cool. But
That is.
my daughter's 25. I have a 24-year-old son, an 18-year-old. I can't even remember the oldest boy's age. He's almost 30.
Mhm.
And then the youngest is 17.
Wow.
Just turned 17
Okay.
a week
So-
Yeah,
ago.
it's so
Today.
nice when they get. It's so
Yeah.
nice when they can
Yeah.
drive, isn't it?
Right.
It's just,
Yeah, he
it's
just got his
awesome.
car too.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of sad though.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
no.
we would ride together because he still comes to school here.
Sure.
We live in Benton,
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so we commute. But yeah, I don't have a passenger anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that I mean, we only have the one son, but when he hit 16, it was kind of, I mean, one of those moments where I mean,
You're
you
used to your
anticipated.
routine.
Yeah,
and you know that
exactly.
time's coming, but then when it does come, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna be ready. Am I gonna?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I wasn't ready.
Yeah, exactly. You think you are. you're
Yeah.
thinking,
Right.
Yeah, but
I was a little nervous for a couple of weeks, and then I was like, "Hey, this is nice." And
Right,
Then, and
right.
then definitely, hey, can you run by Walmart and pick up
Uh-huh.
this? It was really nice.
Yeah.
So
so even in 11 years, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some changes roll through education, right?
Yes, for sure. Of course, when I started, we were doing benchmark testing,
Mhm.
and then moved into, I guess we have now ACT Aspire, which is about to be gone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And then
Here
the
comes
next
something
change.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
We've had different curriculums that we've used. I mean, even the kids have changed. You know, of course, with COVID,
Oh, yeah.
that was the biggest difference. You know, just with everybody. So,
Right.
it's been a lot, but
Yeah.
I've been able to
Yeah.
push through and keep
Yeah.
going.
Well, and that's true. So, but with the changes, I think the one thing that we can say that hasn't changed when it's all said and done, you know, at the end of the day, kids are kids,
Kids are kids.
Mhm.
and
They are.
and it's important. I think, you know, with everything, and COVID was a beast. There's no doubt about that.
I cried
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet.
when we found
Gosh.
out we were not coming back to school. I mean, I did. I sat
Yeah.
in my living room and I bawled my eyes out
Yep.
because I'm like, no, this is not fair.
Yeah.
Like, I need to finish this year with my kids,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so not being able to see them, you know,
Yep.
talk to them, hug on them, you know, just all that. It was
Yeah.
tough.
Oh, yeah.
It was real
Yeah.
tough.
It would have been. I think that would have been tough, but we were able to like deliver meals, and so because I was the
Yeah.
principal at Magnet,
Okay,
and we
yeah, yeah.
and I at least got to see
Right.
and
Which we
check
did that here,
on
but of
some
course,
of
you know,
them.
the teachers weren't a
that-
part of it.
That's
so.
yeah, and
yeah.
that would be so tough because I think that would have been tough on me too if I hadn't been able to have that experience to
Right.
be able to go out and be like, well, I'm gonna, you know, I'll do this route today so I can check on you know these kids. So
Right.
but yeah, that's tough, especially when you got that heart and you get attached to the
Yes.
kids and make those relationships and stuff.
For sure. For sure.
And because that is the one thing. I mean, you know, I think that's something we all kind of took for granted from the standpoint of, you know, when the kids are coming on a daily, even some of those kids that we know, oh Lord, here comes Tommy kind of kid. But but at the end of the day, we still know that kid. We love that kid. We care for that kid. But when they weren't here
Right.
and we know the situation, I mean, it does. It's hurtful. I mean, because you're
It's
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're weighing on you.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
you love them
Absolutely.
like they're your own.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Well, so going forward, I mean, there's been a lot of, I guess, angst, if you will, one way of saying it, you know, during this legislative session, you know, but without getting too political, I mean, I go back to kids are kids,
Right.
you know, and we're gonna have to buckle down, and
Absolutely.
you know, I had a discussion, I guess you could call it that, with the legislator yesterday, and reminded them of that very thing, you know, Candace and I, we're very much windshield people. You know, we're looking ahead. We're
Right.
not looking at rear view.
Right.
And, so now that we know what I guess the rules are, we'll bend them and break them.
Hey, you just said that
yeah.
literally on record,
Hey,
like totally.
well-
there, it's where you're recorded. It's gonna be out there.
But because what I told them was this, you know, now that we know what we have, we can get back to the business
Right.
of making a difference for kids.
Right.
Yeah.
sure.
And I applaud each and every teacher out there.
Me too.
And it's in the business that we're in now, and that's what we do. We are there to help, serve, and all those kinds of
Right.
things. So we're absolutely, you know, it's time to, you know, roll up our sleeves and get after it. So, and I think one of the things that we need right now is to come together and, you know, go after great teachers.
Yes.
So if you had that opportunity, what would you tell somebody that's pursuing a career in education?
it definitely doesn't need to be about the money, because of course people have looked
Right.
at that and a big raise, but you know, money definitely was never a thing for
Right.
me. But you got to have a heart for it. You
100%.
definitely got to go in it 150%. You know, not even 100%, 150%, and
Right.
want to give your all day in and day out, no matter
Right.
how tired you are. And
Sure.
it's just, for instance, this week has been tough. I don't know why, just a lot of different things. But
Right.
you know, by the end of yesterday, I had a little cry.
Yeah.
I was, just,
Yeah.
I was worn out,
Yeah.
mentally and physically worn
Right.
out. But I'm here today. You know, it's Friday. We've had a good little lesson this morning in math and do a little
Right.
activity while I'm in here talking to you guys.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you just definitely have to. You can't come into this half stepping by any means.
Right.
You've got to come in full force and be able to want to have help. Don't think that you can do this on your own, because
Right.
it's definitely not.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
It's definitely got to be a team effort, because they're all our kids, and you know, I've never not been like, I'm shutting my door and I'm not interacting with anybody. I'm the one that's like, at the end of the day, hey, let's talk about this. Let's
Right.
Yeah.
let's figure this out.
That was me
Yeah.
too. That was always me. I'm like, help me.
Yes, please. You know,
Yeah.
especially if problem arises, and I'm like, okay, and what did you do? I need to figure this out. So
Right. Well, and I think you've hit on a key point there. I think as teachers, you know, educators in general, we've all got to come together and remember why we do what we do.
yes,
Because this year has been really weird.
Oh,
For the
yeah.
first time in my career, I've seen more teachers, young ones, that have, I mean, just leave the profession in the middle of a semester. I mean, and that's really never, I've never seen it like it happened
Right.
this year. So these are some things that we've got to focus on. And I think one of the biggest parts is, like you said, is hitting them and saying, hey, look, money's one thing, but, you know, that's, you know, like I said, we've got one son, and I drilled it in him. The thing I want out of you when it comes to finding a job is find that passion.
yes,
And, you know, it's, you know, I heard that all my life, is if, you know, if you find your passion, you'll never work a day in your life. And, you know, I've been blessed, just like you said in the beginning, to find something that I'm truly passionate about. And it had, even on the tough days, do I complain and grumble a little bit? Sure. But when I go
human.
home,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
yep,
what we
we're
do.
human for sure.
We're human. And so I think you're spot on. I mean, we just need to go out, find the good ones, encourage them. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. Not every day is going to be 100%
Of course not.
loving on it. So
we're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
gonna get on our nerves.
And we
but-
talk about that grit, you know, you
Yes.
just, but you may have a bad day, but you just, you know, take it one day at a time.
Yep.
The next
Right.
day you
Oh,
get
yeah.
up and
Start
put for
over.
you,
There you
start
go.
over,
Right.
put
Yep.
forth your best,
Yeah.
best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you know, the thing about Malvern that I love, even when I student taught, my eyes were open, because, you know, I went to a small school, and then in my career as radio, I got to bounce around and see some different schools. But the one thing I really and truly love about Malvern, and through the years it's continued to be that way, is what I truly would consider a community school. I mean, the entire community gets
Yes.
involved in, and you don't have that everywhere.
Right.
And you know, the thing that impresses me about that part, even you know, 27, 28 years ago when a student taught, that seems to remain the same. I mean,
Yeah,
would
for
you
sure.
would you say that?
Oh, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I mean, you go around town, everybody, even if you hadn't taught, you know, their child or grandchild, everybody knows, and you know, they compliment you on, hey, I hear about this. You know, you're doing a good job, and I'm thinking, I don't even know these people, but thank you. You know,
Right.
I try to come in here and do my best every day. And I may not give what I should, but I try. You know, and that's all I can ask for myself.
Well, and another reason that I like coming back over here, honestly, the people that are here, I mean, they always seem to have a smile on their face.
Yep.
And you know, this again is one of those places that when you do come to work here, or you do go through here, I mean, you love it.
Yeah.
You know, people tend to stick
Yep.
around for a while.
They
I mean,
You
coming-
guys have a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Well,
Cute
Yeah.
pictures, all dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that. I have a lot of fun. I have a coworker in the building, well, and several people, but one morning I was just a little tired, you know, and I guess you could tell. She said, I have not heard your laugh down the hall. She said, it is infectious.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah.
making sure
You're-
you're
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just a little
Yeah.
tired. She's like, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then probably either the next day or day after that, she's coming down the hall and she's like, okay, there you are. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's
yeah.
sweet.
Well, it was just like coming in this morning. I was getting walked through the back of the office there, and I'd forgotten that, Coach Mike Scarborough was in this office.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he was coming out and kind of had that furrowed brow. And I said, Coach, what's up? And he obviously he was here when I was here. And he said, hey, man, what are you doing here? So we had a good conversation. And that's what I say. Those kinds of people that are dedicated, that have been here a while. And so it's, to me, that's just impressive that people,
Yeah. It
just a
is.
great community school. So, but again, I tell you what, this is, I think back, and you've been doing it 11 years, and when you get in this business, you think in the back of your mind, most everybody tell you, if you can just touch one kid, you've done something good.
Yeah.
But I'm sure even in the 11 years you've been in it, you've touched multiple kids.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And Candy can tell you, she's got, even in the roles that we're in now, she runs into people. She's a couple of kids even that she ran into, I would say happenstance, but probably more of a God thing than anything. Ran into
For sure, a God thing.
at Walmart, and now
Oh,
she's toured them.
Yeah.
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 touring 'em and
Yeah, going to get them on their way. And
help them with GED. So,
Okay. Oh,
you
Yeah.
know, so,
Yeah,
just
of
get
course.
experiences. And even though you're, because I was a secondary teacher, 7 to 12,
Right,
you said
right.
it.
Yeah.
You'll have these littles 3rd grade, and they'll remember, and they'll reach out to you
right.
when they're older if they need something and say, "Hey."
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Well, they're giving me, we got to wrap up signs. So
Now you're gonna ask her the hard
we're
question.
Oh, no.
the good stuff. So, 11 years, that gives you a lot of time to have done some embarrassing stuff. So, shorten it up to what's probably been one of the most embarrassing things as a teacher.
Good idea.
Yeah, that you can think of.
Other people might think it's embarrassing. I enjoy having fun, but I've dressed up as Rudolph for several years during
Yeah.
the Christmas
Right.
program.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And one year I actually was in I can't even remember the song, but anyway, they had a bright idea to buy a hippo suit.
Mm.
Of course, you couldn't see me.
Right.
But there's a video of me. They wanted me to run down the hallway because, of course, as you walked, it waddled. But when I
Right.
ran, oh my
Right.
gosh, it is the most hilarious thing.
Yeah.
And I think we watched that on repeat.
Oh.
several
All the
times.
time. If you're having a bad day, just
Yeah.
go get the hippo
It is
video.
definitely,
Yeah.
it's a good laugh. It is a good laugh.
We're going to find that
Awesome.
video.
Yeah, I think we might need to
Yeah.
see that before we
Yeah.
leave. Yeah.
I think that somebody's probably got it on their phone up there. We'll have to pull that out.
Yeah, we have to.
And of course, my go-to is, especially commuting. What's on your playlist going back and forth?
It depends on the day. This morning, I probably had some rap going on. Gospel music,
Yeah.
90s R&B,
Right.
70s and 80s rock. You
Yeah,
name it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm listening to it all. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is what I find myself doing. Like, I'm all over the place too, because most days I go to Arkadelphia, but if we don't, but if I've got to go to Little Rock, I'll have something good going on, and then I drive through all that construction, and then I got to repent, so I'll put it on
Yes.
back to Christian.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I'm
yes.
like,
Because you're probably thinking some.
oh
Really
yeah, oh yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
So
Oh
I
man.
get all that.
exactly. So, yeah. So, well, number one, appreciate all that you do.
Yes.
Honestly,
Thank
we,
you.
we
Yes.
appreciate you letting
my
us come over
goodness.
today.
Thanks.
So, any last thoughts? Any last bits of encouragement out there for like I said, inspiring teachers or parents that might be struggling to get the kids rolling through here?
Well, as far as the kid aspect goes, just listen to them. Find something fun, because that's what I try to do, to help them with learning. Because of course they all learn differently. So
That's
right.
Got to
Absolutely.
find something that's gonna get that spark going, and it'll give them a little more incentive or a little more motivation to want to keep
Right.
learning. Because I know some are just like, oh, I don't want to come to school. But once they get here, they're good.
Right.
And then as far as, those wanting to come into education, just know that it's what you want to do. And if there's any inkling of you not sure, just make sure before you get into it, because
Right.
they definitely deserve the best from those who are in the
100%.
profession.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
Yeah, yeah. I
That
don't
is-
disagree.
No,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, again, thanks for coming.
Yes,
and,
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
you.
All right. Well, and we're gonna be looking for the hippo video.
Yeah, we got to get that
All
before we
right.
leave. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find that.
Okay,
All right.
good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for the latest edition of Spilling the Tea.